we are, ladies and gents. Oh, no. Here we are. Oh, man. My lighting sucks. Damn. Maybe I can stay on this side then. The light wasn't doing that until now. Now, oh, man. I gotta stay away from that side now. It's just messed up. What's up, guys? I'm Just Jordane, hanging out over here at the Just Jordane pad, getting ready to go through a little bit of some old school wrestling stories, some old little road trips that I've had in the past, and I'd like to cover one of the original road trips that I've ever went on, and that was to go see the Wild Samoans and wrestle for them. I thought that it would be amazing to be able to go wrestle for the Wild Samoans, especially with the history and watching wrestling as much as I did. Christopher Barclough, I'm glad you're here to join us. Finally, while we're live. What's up, Mama Laura? Sorry, honey, can't watch. Love you, Mama Laura. You have a good one. Right on. Christopher Barclough, what's going on, bud? How you doing, man? I hope you're having a good one. Just getting ready to have a little bit of a wrestling conversation and see how everybody's doing. How's everybody doing? I hope that everyone is having a good Wednesday. I'm having a great Wednesday. I got up nice and early, went and worked a little bit, ran around a little bit, got some files that I need to serve. I got to serve some people, some paperwork, and it's been working out pretty well. I've been staying busy. Got a really good workout in today. Started pushing heavier weight than normal. I've been dropping a lot of weight the past 2 to 3 months. Hence all... Ooh, shit. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise, guys. Jeez Louise, you know? Close enough. I mean, what am I going to do? It's so complicated trying to make all this work, especially with the lighting, and I don't have my studio right now. I need to get my studio going. But you know, that is what it is. That's part of the game, guys. That's part of the game. And we're just having connection issues today. We're having all kinds of issues today. So I do apologize about that. Let me see. No, we're on the best Wi-Fi that we can be on. Yeah, and Instagram is as well, but it's all good, guys. I hope that you all are having a great Wednesday. It's been a beautiful Wednesday. And now I'm going to start going over some of these little stories, because when I was younger and I was thinking about becoming a pro wrestler and all the possibilities that would entail, I always remember reading wrestling books with older wrestlers, and the older wrestlers having a lot of really good stories about how they were coming up in the business and how they were. Okay, this Instagram, I'm probably going to turn Instagram off because it keeps turning off. All right, we'll try that, but if it keeps shutting off now, then we're just going to keep it shut off, because this is ridiculous. It's still on for now, but we'll see. Nobody's on Instagram today anyway. Wednesday's just one of those days. Y'all know how that is. But I always loved hearing the stories. There were always so many really good stories, especially back in the day. Because back then it was kind of like they were kind of like in the Wild West. They were a little bit in the Wild West back then, because not a lot of people are paying attention to you, because you're on the road and you're in a different town every day. If you're in a different town every day, who knows what type of trouble you can get into. Nowadays, people get into a lot of trouble, but that's with phones everywhere. Everybody's putting on phones with everybody. We got phones going, but everybody didn't have those back then. Christopher Barclough, I did send a video to Vince McMahon about Tough Enough Season 2. What was that? Was that you trying out for? Were you trying out for it? Was it like a promo type deal when they were trying to get people to be involved in it? Because that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that, Christopher. You gotta send it to me. Wrestling was called back then Carnival. Wrestling came from the carnivals. Yes, wrestling came from the carnivals. Yes, it originally, that's where the history of professional wrestling came out of, the circuses and the carnivals and all these different weird challenges that they would do. And, you know the old story about, a promoter would have his guy and he would be like, oh, yes, come one, come all, see if you can beat my wrestler. And the wrestler would beat the hell out of everybody. But then, another wrestler from a competing tribe or promotion, they would wrestle each other. so you'd have two of the top wrestlers that everybody that they're legit because they stick with them. They keep seeing them, they keep seeing them. They keep seeing them beat all of the other people who are coming up and saying, oh yeah, I can challenge them, but can they really? That's the thing. Can they really? No, majority of the time, especially if you're not a wrestler and you're wrestling a wrestler, the wrestler's probably going to win because they just know way more than you do. They just know way more than you do. Even if you have a little bit of a background, if they're actively wrestling all the time, they're probably going to beat you because they're just always in practice. So they're always on top of their stuff. So you can't discount that. But that's a little bit of the old school wrestling history stuff. And I loved all of the history of wrestling. I love everything about the business. It's fun. I love the travel. I love the crowds. I love it all. It's very fun. But I was really looking forward to the road trips because I'm from a small town and we didn't get out of the small town very often. I didn't get out of the small town until I was a teenager. I remember coming up to visit Aunt Rhonda up here, I think when I was in middle school. That was like a mind-blowing experience for me because I'd never been anywhere else. So seeing a city, especially a big city like Baltimore, and I thought it was a big city. Now I know it's not that big compared to like Philly or compared to obviously New York or DC. Like those places are pretty huge. Baltimore is its own respect. It's kind of like a mid-sized city, I guess. Comparing, the different markets with each other. Christopher Barclough. Vince gave me a letter saying, thanks you very so much for sending me the video. I told Vince in the promo video I wanted to do commentary instead of wrestle. That's cool, man. And I'm sure that Vince McMahon wrote you back and was like, hey, man, that's cool. I wanted you to be a wrestler, but you know what? You can do commentary. Or did he tell you that he didn't need a commentator at the time? How did that go, Christopher? Anyway, the biggest thing that I really loved about wrestling in the wrestling business was being able to go and travel and see your friends and do all these fun things. And it seemed like that was going to be an easy part. But I think we were just like, I just turned 18 and my friend had been 18. Maybe he was 19 at the time. And we were like, dude, we've been training for like 5 or 6 months. We had been training for 5 or 6 months outside at one of my friend's backyards with 2 wrestlers. And we would pay them like $100 a month to wrestle in the backyard and learn how to bump. Basically learn how to bump because they didn't have a ring at the time. So we were learning how to bump and we were like taking body slams and a bunch of different things like that. And it just wasn't, everybody's kind of spoiled nowadays actually having a real school to go to that's in like most regions of the country now. Most regions of the country have good reputable schools where you can get good pro wrestling training. That wasn't always the case. That wasn't always there. So we were running the roads trying to get ourselves booked on different places. And we were in Florida. So in Florida, it's a little bit more widespread. There's a little bit less going on out there. So doing it like that. What's up, Oso? How you doing, brother? Just hanging out, brother. Just hanging out. Going over some wrestling road trip stories. I love the wrestling road trip stories. They're always good, but it's always fun. But, and then, so we were training for a while, and he had a connection with the Samoans. And the Samoans were about a 2-hour drive away from us. Thank you, Adam, for liking the stream. The Samoans were about 2 hours away from us. And we had to figure out how to get there. It was on a Saturday. We were both still in school, and neither of us had a car. I would go over to his house, and I would use my grandfather's car to drive to his house, and then we would use his parents' car to drive to training, and then we would go from there because you never know. People might be paying attention to they might be paying too close attention to the mileage, and you're going to get in trouble if you're driving all over the place. So It is what it is. So I was always wary of that. And he didn't care. He would drive his mom's car, his dad's truck, whatever it was to get us there. And that was how we would get to training. But this time we had a show to get to. Yo, what's up, Jose Garcia? How are you, brother? How's it going, man? Christopher Barclough. Vince told me in the letter was I need more experience. I told him the history on how much new. He wrote back and said, sorry, but we have enough commentary and I need to be more hyped about what I'm saying. Vince words. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. What's up, Jose? What you got, man? What's your question? I gotta fix my audio. I think it's a little too. There we go. But we were sitting there having the conversation, and we were like, okay, so we got to get to the Samoans, and that's in Pensacola. That's about a 2-hour drive from us, and I don't know if it's going to work. We had no idea if we were going to be able to make it. We wanted to say that we were going to be there, but we didn't know for sure. So we told them that we were going to be there, and we've only been training for a few months. So you never know, man. You never know. It's hard to be able to tell the future at that time. Now me with hindsight being 2020, I know that we made it there, but it was a story getting there, and it was a story getting back. It was definitely a story getting back. Jose, when you going to be a champion in New England again? As soon as I get back into New England. I miss going up there too, man. My Massachusetts peeps. I have conversations with them all the time, and they're like, "Oh man, I know. I need to get back up there. I definitely need to get back up there." But as soon as I start coming back regularly, you can bet your ass that championship's going to be mine. Whose championship? Where? What promotion? What area? What town? I don't know. Right now, I'm preparing a lot of what I've got going on. What happened with your last title? My last Massachusetts title, the New England title? I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. It's weird. It's a mystery. It's a very big mystery. I wish I knew, Jose. I wish I knew. But anyway, we were going to see the Samoans. And the Samoans, you know, they have a history with their family, and they have a history with professional wrestling in general. But we had to get there. So I couldn't use a car. So he had to finagle a way to use his mom's car. And as he was using his mom's car, you know it, Jose. He had to use his mom's car. And that was one of the things that really got me. Jeez Louise. Christopher Barclough coming in hot with the big one. Just give me one sec, Barclough. Boom. Okay. Here we go. I got over there in Twitch, and I got Instagram as well. So you guys hold on one sec. I'm going to catch up, and then we'll continue on with the little story. Christopher Barclough, Madison Square Garden had host more matches and more pay-per-views like SummerSlam 1988. The Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks. The Ultimate Warrior defeated Honky Tonk Man for the World Wrestling Federation IC title. Sergeant Slaughter defeated Iron Sheik in a boot camp match. Owen Hart defeated Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Stunner, Vince McMahon. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on in Madison Square Garden from the WWE. That is very true. But he was trying to finagle his way into getting a car for us to be able to make it. And finally he did. But his mom said, yes, you can come pick us. You can come pick him up. And you can actually, he was coming to pick me up, but our plan was to go to the show and then come back. And then and we were just banking on them not counting the mileage and hoping that they would think that I was over there. Thank you, Lori, for liking the stream. Lori's here. What's up, Lori? How are you doing? We were just talking about Massachusetts, Lori. Perfect timing. Jose was over there asking me questions about when the next time I'm gonna be in Massachusetts is, and hopefully soonish. I've got some dates lined up right now, but I'm being very picky with the places that I go to because I'm not wasting my time with people who aren't going to invest the same effort into you You just have to, you have to, if all what you do is try to do your best, and then nobody else is doing the best for you, then you got to realize, no, cut that off and then go somewhere where you treat it better. So you have to go to like different places. You have to figure that out. That's like any job. That's anything that you got to do. So I'm being very picky with my bookings right now. And man, I used to take a lot of like really, really shit shows that I really shouldn't have been doing. And now I'm just trying to chill, keep training. And now that I'm in almost better shape than I've ever been, now I got to get a little bit more strength because I went a little bit crazy trying to cut that off, But so we have to finagle our way through. Jose Garcia said, toughest match. Toughest match. Toughest match to get through or toughest opponent? I wonder. And Lori, that's how I feel about my job right now. Yeah, that's a pretty normal feeling, especially whenever there's no appreciation for what you're doing. And, I know people say like, oh, your appreciation is the pay that you get for it. But that's not really. That's like everybody gets paid for their job. That's not mutual respect as a human, Toughest opponent? I don't know. I don't have any toughest opponents. Toughest match? I never really thought of any matches being tough or hard or complicated or any of that. Toughest opponent? I don't know. I haven't wrestled a lot of tough people. A lot of them aren't that tough. Most of them aren't that tough. Yeah, I don't know, Jose. Good question. I don't know. I'm trying to think. What's yours? What's your toughest one? What's your toughest match? Tough. I don't think they were that tough. Probably one of the girls that I wrestled or something. Probably one of the girls or something like that. Christopher Barkloff. Back in 1998, my teacher took the class to Madison Square Garden, but she took me backstage for lunch. I met the Headbangers. Owen sat next to me eating on my Oreo cookies. I met Classy Freddie Blassie, Captain Lou Albano, Vader, Howard Finkel. Nice, Christopher Barkloff. That's a laundry list of some stars right there. Brickhouse Baker. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Brickhouse Baker's a good one. Hey, there you go. He got one. Different generations, though, man. Different generations. I did a lot of hardcore stuff. I've had a lot down in Florida when I was wrestling down in Florida. I had a lot of hardcore matches down there, and a few really good opponents. And probably Waylon, who I went to train with, who the guy that I was doing this road trip with, who I broke into the business with. We beat the living hell out of each other. He's tough, so I guess I could give it to Waylon. Probably, yeah. But we were way more. Because we knew each other, so we were way more open with being violent with each other too. I mean, like, we were just calling a lot of shit on the fly, hitting each other in the head with everything that the fans would hand you and all kinds of crazy shit. So it was ridiculous. But very, very, very fun. Very, very fun. But I haven't fucking had a hardcore match in a long time. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. Christopher Barkloff, I was being picked on and bullied, so my teacher did that for me. Well, that's cool. That's really cool, man. I'm sorry that you were being picked on and bullied, man. Every now and then sometimes you gotta deal with bullies, sometimes you gotta deal with assholes, but it seems like you've gotten through it, Christopher Barkloff, and we're here now to be able to talk about it. Oops, I knocked my shit over. Now at least we're here and we can have a conversation about it, and you're better for it. Maybe not better because of it, but better for it. Better to be better for it than not, I'd cut you. Yeah, I've been cut. Accidents, on purpose, whatever. I'll cut you back, bitch. I'll cut you back. No, that's the good shit, though. That's the good shit. Cause I like, you know, at least you ain't no fucking pussy. At least you're gonna bring it. Bring it, you know? Bring it. Bring that shit. Just bring that shit. God damn, just bring it. You're more of a cutter. I'm more of a blunt force object thrower. That's what I like. I like the blunt force objects. And boom! Punch you right in the head with it. Knock your ass out. So you might cut me, but I might knock you out first. But then you might still cut me, and I still might knock you out, Jose. What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? Anyway, back to the story. We were trying to get to the Samoans in Pensacola, 2-hour drive. He got to borrow his parents' car, but under the impression that he was going to stay the night at my house. But we were like, you know, 17, 18, we're still in school. We're trying to, you know, we're trying to get on a show, man. We got dreams, baby. We got dreams. You can't be holding us back like that. We're trying to go for that shit. Let us go for that shit. Let's go. So we got in the car and we started rocking. We started rolling. Got up there about 2 hours. We got up there like 2 hours early. It was a 2-hour drive. You knocking shit out. I'll throw a midget at you. I'll catch the midget and hit your ass with it. I'll cut the midget and then hit you with it. I'll cut you, then cut the midget, and then hit you with the midget. How about that? How about that? Then we'll have a bloody mess all over the goddamn place. And hopefully the midget will survive, but you know what? That's just part of it. Sorry to any midgets. Yes, please. Sorry to any midgets. Please don't cancel us. You know how that whole deal is. Ridiculous. So we get up there 2 hours early, and it's one of the coolest experiences any of us ever been in, because we get up there, and you know, a lot of shows, the backstage scene is different in different places. When we got back to this show, now we were in this show, and this show was just, it was like a hang. It was like a hang. We went backstage. Nobody was backstage. There was a door open in this building, and we walked right outside, and there was Alpha and Sika. Alpha or Sika, I don't remember which one it was. Maybe Alpha. I think it was Pops. But they were cooking on the grill. And they're like, hey, brother, come in. Let's have some food, you know, hang out. And, you know, oh, okay, we got a spot. Do we have a spot for you? And I got on the show. I had a spot for me. It was to get my ass kicked by somebody. And I don't even remember who it was whose ass I got my ass. I didn't do the ass whooping that night. I got my ass kicked. But it was a really cool experience. But I was so nervous. I kept messing up. I messed up a lot. But everybody knew that I was green, you know, and it was fine because they covered it up by choke slamming me 5 times in a row. Because whatever I did before that must have been horrendous. Jose, I got midget nunchucks. Midget nunchucks. I love it. You a fucking mess. I am a mess. I'm a pro wrestler, dude. What do you expect, Jose? You know that. You come from the same shit that I come from. You're made of the same fabric. You're a crazy motherfucker too. Don't act like you can call me a mess and then act like you're not a mess. You know that. We're all a mess. But that is what it is. I like it. I like it. It turns me on. It gets me going. And I don't even know if that's PG. I don't even know. How long have you been in? I've been in since 2006. I started training when I was 17, right out of high school. Well, while I was still in high school. I was still in high school, but I started in, it might have been 2005 when we started, and I debuted in 2006. And I'm 34 now, so, you know, been doing it for a good bit of time. A lot of time in Northwest Florida, a lot of time in South Florida, a lot of time up here in Maryland, then a lot of time back down in Florida, that time in the Tampa area, then back up here, more in the Pennsylvania area, then back into Maryland, and now here I am making my way out to Jersey again and Massachusetts soon. All these different things. So, you know, all over the place. Long stories, right? Jose, 93 for me. Yeah, you look it. You look it. I was going to say 95, but hey, I was only 3 off. or 2 off. I can't do math. I don't have a math brain. I have a wrestler's brain, which probably not very good if we're thinking about it like that. Probably not very good. The wrestler's brains don't really last that long, guys. That's not a, I know it's a bad joke, but it is what it is, right? So we're up there hanging out with Pops. We're hanging out with a couple of the Samoans. They do a couple promos, and we're just kind of taking in everything. And I am just so excited. I'm just like, man, this is the coolest shit ever. This feels like it's like a family. It's like a family. It was like a family situation. Like it was a family atmosphere. So it was really cool, man. And we were like, man, this is like one of the best days ever. And then reality hit as we were shaking everybody's hands. We helped put up the ring. We did everything, all the young boy shit that you're supposed to do. Helped out everybody, shook everybody's hands as we were leaving. We're like, oh, shit, got to check that phone because I might have. And then it turns out he missed a few calls from his mom because she was wondering where the hell he was because she was expecting them back at 10, him back at 10. It's a 2-hour drive. She called at 10. We didn't get out of there till 10:30. So he called her back as we were walking back so that he wouldn't get in trouble. And this was back when you only had texting and phone calling on phones. You didn't have all the cool shit. There were no apps. There were no apps back then. But it was pretty cool. It was well, I mean, not pretty cool at this point because he called her and she's like, where the hell are you? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You need to get home. And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. We're just hanging out. We're just having a really good time. Can I stay just a little bit longer? I promise I'll be back soon. And she said, okay, cool. And I was like, okay, cool. We got to get to going. So then he was a little tired. So he was like, you can drive. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll drive. I'll get us there. I'll hit on that gas and I will get us there. And I will get us there going really good. I'll get us there so fast your head will spin. Your head will turn, your head will spin. All that other good shit, And turns out we were both exhausted as shit. Completely exhausted. There wasn't anything that we could do to keep our eyes awake. 30 minutes into the drive, he's asleep. 45 minutes into the drive, I am driving and I'm doing this. I'm just fighting to keep my eyeballs open. I am doing everything that I can. I'm so exhausted and I'm so tired. And it's just a whirlwind of excitement, a whirlwind of craziness. And we've never experienced before. So we're completely exhausted. I am literally, and I remember this story specifically as I was thinking about what we were going to talk about today. I remember this story specifically because I had never felt that tired before, and I've never been that tired afterwards. And I have driven 16 hours, produced a show, agented matches, recorded promos, wrestled in the main event, all in the same weekend span, and then drove 16 hours back. And I was still, that whole time I did that, I was not as tired as I was that night. That was, I don't know what it was about me. That was my first real wrestling trip, and it was only 2 hours. A 2-hour trip ain't shit, guys. That ain't nothing for wrestlers. That is literally nothing. It's a small world if you really think about it. It's a very small world. And we were just dead. And I don't even understand how I was so tired because I've done 20 times more, but maybe I've trained my brain. Maybe I've trained my internal battery to be able to go like that now, to where it's nothing. Like the Massachusetts trip, like I can drive up to Massachusetts, be there, wrestle the show, and have my happy ass come all the way back home, and I still won't be sleepy when I get home. I'll have to frickin' take some frickin' melatonin or something so that I can calm down. I'm still jacked up from the road. But this night, man, I almost wrecked like 3 times. And I actually do remember, I was like, okay, keep it up. I rolled up the windows, rolled down the windows. I was just trying to change up any type of weird stimulation to keep me awake. And it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. So then I'm going. Hey, what's up, Rick? How you doing, brother? Rick Morris is up in the chat too now. Ricky Morris has made it up into the chat. You know, our chat is so weird. I know sometimes all our chats come from Facebook. Sometimes all our chats come from YouTube. And then sometimes all our chats come from Instagram. It's never like a variety here, a variety there, a little bit. No, it's usually like one's real heavy that day and the other's real heavy that. It's so random. I don't even understand it sometimes. Sometimes I don't get it. Stephen Fowler, how are you, brother? Stephen Fowler has made it inside too. We're over here hanging out, brother. We're over here hanging out, sharing some wrestling stories. And I just finished up my first wrestling story that I remember. I guess it was a big road trip. It was one of my first wrestling road trips, and it was to see the Wild Samoans. And there was so much pressure with it. I was so nervous about it because it's the Wild Samoans. You don't want to mess that up, man. You do not want to mess that up. It's the Wild Samoans. And all I'm thinking is, we knew that they were training with the WWE at the time and all this other good stuff. So you got all these things going through your head, especially 17-year-old Ronald. So just starstruck with everybody. I was starstruck with every indie wrestler who was just wrestling on the indies. Like, I just loved the fact that you could actually wrestle on the indies. That blew my mind. When I found out that the Armstrongs were wrestling right up the road from me in Defuniak Springs, in the small town that we lived at, man, local wrestling, you got to love local wrestling because there's some gems there, guys. There's some gems. And you'll see some of the up-and-comers who you may see on TV one day, or you'll see some of the old school guys who were on TV. That's what's beautiful about local wrestling. Local wrestling is just like that. A lot of money to be made out there, guys. A lot of money to be made. If you're a wrestler, of course. Thank you, Rick Morris, brother. How are you doing, man? Rick Morris over here hanging out with us, too. Oh, man. Long day. I've had a long week. I've just got a long couple weeks coming up. I don't know if we're going to have a show tomorrow, but we will have one Friday. And Friday's show will probably be a little bit earlier than what we did today. It's probably going to be around 2 or 3 p.m. because I just have to be running around. I got a lot of running around to do. I got a lot of different places that I need to get to. I got a lot of different things that I need to do. So it is what it is. Christopher Barclough. Brad Armstrong worked for WCW. Yes, he did. It was that night. Well, the Armstrongs weren't there that night. Ooh, I'll save this story. Let me. I'm gonna put that down though. First ever wrestling show live. And I'm going to have to talk to my cousin about this because he and I went to see it. And we thought that the indie wrestling that we went to see was the drizzling shits. And now that I understand like a lot of indie wrestling, a lot of it is kind of not good. But there's some good gems in it, man. There's some good people. There's some good gems. I think that night we had Scott Armstrong and Bob Armstrong. There was no Brad that night, even though Brad would have been amazing to see live because just his wrestling abilities was great. But it was really cool seeing Scott Armstrong because Scott Armstrong was still in shape then. So it was cool seeing a big guy run out there like that actually, you know, could move around. It was cray cray and my nay nay. But you know, that's just one of the ways that I like to talk. But yeah, guys, I've got plenty more road stories like that. But I just wanted to talk about that one real quick for our wrestling show because I was trying to come up with something and I haven't been watching a lot of wrestling here recently. I've been on the move too much. I have too much to do. So this is a little bit of a shorter episode tonight. Maybe we'll have one tomorrow, but we'll see how all that goes. If I do, it'll be very early, but Friday's going to have to be very early too because I have to figure out what I'm doing Friday night and get it all situated. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here. This was a fun little episode, little quick one. I know it's a little tease to get you to keep me in your minds. Help me keep me in your minds. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a great night. Have a great day. I'll see you all either tomorrow or Friday. I'm sorry, there's nothing solid about it, but it's not going to be solid. It's not going to be solid for a little while now because I've got a lot of really good stuff coming on. I'm going to be going live as often as I can, but there's going to be some days that I'm not able to do it. And you guys know how that is already as it is. We had a 1 month hiatus. Probably not going to be taking any month hiatuses like that off anymore, but you never know. I might catch a tour somewhere and I'll have to be gone. I would take my computer and I would still try to do the streams on the road and in different areas if I could, but we'll cross that bridge whenever it's time. I hope you all have a good night. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Stay focused, work hard, and always remember, I got your back. As long as you got my back, we all got each other's backs, guys. We got to motivate each other. We got to stay on top of each other. Stephen Fowler, get back in the squared circle and end game someone's ass. Steve, brother, trust, like if you've been paying attention to my social media, the hype train is coming, baby. And Jordane's, I got a lot of really, really cool shit that I'm about to fucking do, but can't talk about it yet because I ain't giving my shit away yet. I ain't gonna give nothing away yet. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I love you. I love you, Rick. I love you, Steve. I love you, Lori. I love you, Jose. Jose, we got to talk, brother. We definitely got to talk soon, man. We definitely got to talk soon. I'll hit you up very soon. Just right now, I got a lot of shit I got to focus on right now, but we got to chit chat. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Have a good night. See you all. On down the road.